Hello.
Hello, darling. How art thou?
I'm here.
Yeah, same. Likewise. It's been a crazy day today for me.
Yeah, it's been all right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Chilling, relaxing.
Wow, that's nice. Oh yeah, that's right. It's your day off where you get to kind of zone in with yourself and do some much needed self-care and love to yourself. I love that.
Indeed. You
Yes.
seem very quiet.
What was that? Hello, Scarlett.
Your voice seems very quiet.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me okay now?
Still very quiet.
What? Okay. Let me close out of my apps. 1 second. She said meeting, hey.
Roger.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. I closed out my apps on the phone. Is this better?
No, about the same.
No? Shit. Okay, let me hop off and then rejoin 1 second.
Copy that. Trippy.
Oh, there's two of me now. Uh-oh. Okay, how about now?
Yeah, still a little quiet. Let's see here.
I got a YouTube and on the phone and a TikTok. Oh my God, I love it. She's multitasking. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much, love.
Oh, this is weird. I'm still seeing your second screen over here.
Oh,
Oh, there it goes. Nice. Over there multitasking.
no, you're fine.
Oh no, Scarlett. She's over there multitasking YouTube and TikTok.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in.
Yes, welcome in. Welcome in. Tonight's topic is going to be red flags. I'm sure we've all run into them.
Absolutely.
Get my camera on here.
There we go. Hi, Ricky. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Oh, you look fancy today. I love it.
Oh, it's a casual shirt.
Oh, well.
Just
It's
a daily
suited.
wear. All right, so we'll start with the ladies. Red flags for you.
Ooh, well, red flags for me. Let's see. I would say that, well, it depends on their age, right? So if they're a little older, I would say either living, and I'm sorry, but this is one of my major red flags, is when they live at home with their mothers. Hi, Anna. Yeah, live at home with their mothers. Why? What's going on? Yeah, especially when they're older, like I said. You know, we're talking about like mid 30s, later 30s. What's going on? What's the deal? When they don't do their own laundry. Yeah. When let's see, what else would be a red flag for me? How they speak about women, how they present themselves, what they wear. If they're too flashy, like for me, I don't like that when they're too flashy.
Right.
And then if they talk about like their exes way too soon in conversation, oh, my ex used to do this, or oh, so how many guys have you dated, or how many guys have you been with? Like, whoa, sir, hold on, that's none of your business.
Right. Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to the whole bringing up exes too early and all that.
Yeah, the camera quality looks really good, by the way.
Grazie. I tried connecting it directly to the router versus going off Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. That LAN cable coming in
Yes.
clutch.
I don't know about coming in clutch. I had to go buy a new one to reach.
New LAN cable coming in clutch.
Yes. 75 feet worth.
Oh, wow. Well, at least you can move around.
Yeah, let's hope I don't have to move all this.
No.
No, but
What?
yeah, definitely red flags. I would have to agree. Bringing up exes, just living at home with your parents. Like, I can understand if you're going through some rough times and all that.
That's
And
understandable.
trying to get back on your feet. I can fully understand that. I can fully respect that. At least you're trying.
Yes.
But if you're just doing that so you don't have to, go out, pay your own rent, pay your own bills, this, that, the other, then yeah, no, that's a huge problem in any relationship. It just shows zero motivation, zero effort on your part.
Absolutely. Exactly. And yes, living at home with your parents and not having a job is a huge no-no.
Take me, for example, and you were there for a good majority of that time. I went through some stuff. I had nowhere to really go. And I ended up staying with my mom for a while. And granted, not the ideal living situation for myself, but it helped me get back on my feet. Helped me stabilize my job. It helped me get the opportunity to, build myself back up from ground zero.
And that's understandable, you know what I mean? And I think in that type of situation, that's different because, at some point, I mean, there's been multiple times, well, one time in particular, and there may be a second time where I too will have to stay with my parents. But see, the difference is that you always had motivation to want to get out of your mother's house. Like that was not a permanent solution for you. You were just there until, and you made that very clear. You already had that in your mindset. You know what I mean? You were like, I
No,
want to get out. I want to move. Like, I just got to wait for the right timing. And you did. So,
yeah, I will honestly say the biggest perk to living at my mom's
hmm
was having that huge yard for my dog to run around in. Because living in an apartment complex is a little difficult to get her out and get her the exercise she needs.
hmm
While living there, she had a yard to, just set her out back and let her run around, burn off
yeah.
energy. But ideally for me, it wasn't there for me. So yeah, I needed to get myself out of that situation.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of supposed men who don't have that mentality. And in fact, they stay there and then they're like, oh, well, I help pay rent. No, you don't. Like, stop
I
lying.
did too. I
Yeah.
helped pay my mom's bills. I took over the electric bill while I was there. I paid forward a few $100s for rent, but it still wasn't a reason for me to stay there. Like, oh well, I could just look at her as a roommate. No,
No. Yeah. It's still your mom. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I needed to get back out in my own space.
Yes. Especially as growing adults, like we need our own spaces for sure. But yeah, those would be some of my red flags. And like I said, just too flashy jewelry, the bling bling. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, no.
Mm-mm.
Like, okay, it's all right to, you know, take pride in a little jewelry here and there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy my rings. I
Mm-hmm.
always wear my pendants, but I'm not gonna go overboard when it comes to jewelry. I don't need
Right.
big flashy chain. I don't need, bracelets for days. I don't need a bunch of earrings all
Yep.
across my ear.
Yeah. Agreed.
Scarlett says no job. Yeah, no job is a huge red flag. It's understandable with economy nowadays where it's difficult to find a job,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to see that effort. If you're not showing that effort that you're even trying to get a job, then you're just showing me that you're not going to put effort into things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because if you can't put in the effort to find yourself a form of income, then what can I go off of to say you're going to put any kind of effort into a relationship?
Yeah. It shows no ambition by any means. It's
None.
yeah. What about for you? For from a man's perspective, what are some red flags for you?
Red flags that I've run into
Mm-hmm.
would probably be the women that go out consistently. And I mean consistently, always going out with the girls, this, that, the other, but they feel the need to lie about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're just going out with the girls, having a couple drinks, that's cool. What you expect me to get mad about it? I'm not gonna get mad about it. Just be honest with me. If you're lying about it, then what are you really doing?
Yeah. That's a good point you bring up because like that was never a red flag for me until one of my exes who was always out, always partying, always doing this, always doing that. And it really frustrated me because it was like, bro, like you're always getting invited to all these things. Like you're always out. Like it's so annoying. Like what about some time for like me and you? Like, do you even value this relationship? And so I brought it up and, I questioned this person's like mentality of where they were at mentally with the relationship. And I said, maybe we should just go our separate ways then because you seem to prioritize your friends more and hanging out with your friends more than actually investing and or working in this relationship. And now I'm in a relationship with you, but I feel twice as lonely because you don't like the people I talk to, you don't like the people that I hang out with, you talk shit about these things, and then you know what I mean. So it was like it was like he wanted to just completely isolate me, and I said, no, you know what, I'm done. So that, it to me, them constantly going out with their friends is a huge red flag if you're not going to prioritize me or, you know, your relationship.
Isolation is also a narcissistic tendency.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to themselves. They want the attention on them. They don't want you to have those friends. They don't want you to have those social interactions unless it involves them.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you bring all that up. Oh, yeah, no, the whole "I don't like your friends" thing.
Yes.
That's another huge red flag in my books. Because me personally, and you know it, because you're one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I associate better with females. I get along better with females. I can't really find myself finding a lot of male friends, mainly because I can't talk to them the way I can with a woman.
Right.
Like, yeah, I can goof around with guys the way I can't with women. I can talk to them about certain things for a male's perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I would much rather hang out with a female friend than a male friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the experience of, oh well, you're constantly talking to this girl, this female, whatever. I'm censoring myself. You know exactly what word comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you are actually one of the reasons why that red flag popped up, because I was constantly on live with you and Lissa.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And it got to the point where I was, no, they were in my life before you were. So if
Yeah.
you can't accept the fact that I like to take time to myself and make time for them, we don't need to continue this.
Right.
Let's just stop this right here and go about our ways.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've all just grown a very strong bond with each other, and we're just friends, you know. And I think it's healthy for us to express ourselves because we understand and we relate with one another, and we've helped each other, and we've seen what each of us have gone through in our own individual lives and what we've been through, and have helped each other for many years that we've known each other. So yeah, no, I respect that. And that's one thing that I also told my ex too. I said, you know, um, I'm not gonna stop talking to my friends. Um, and you know, he had no choice but to accept it. And I mean, that's just, I mean, he's my ex for a reason. So you
Exes
can't
are
really,
exes for a reason.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we're in a good place now. So you know, you know, you've seen him come in here and show love, and has a lot of respect for you as a person. So,
Well, yeah, I'm the kind of guy where I have no problem setting boundaries with friends. I have no problem respecting those boundaries. If they set boundaries for themselves with me, cool. That's fine with me. I'm not going to push that boundary. That's a huge part of my life. I have to follow boundaries.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when me and Lexi started talking,
Mm-hmm.
I was going out a lot. I was going to bars pretty consistently. And anytime she messaged me, hey, I'm at the bar, just thought I'd let you know. We weren't even official at the time. I was just
Mm-hmm.
letting her know. So she knew I was out and about. She knew who I was with. She knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just built more of a trust factor on her end that I felt the need to tell her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm just out with this friend. I'm out by myself, just needed to go out, have a drink, whatever the
Yeah.
case was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad that she was understanding to that, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad she's understanding to that too. Hell, when I make plans with John or my buddy Nick or my buddy Seth,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you made time for your friends. You need more guy time. Yeah, I do. I just don't like going out. I'm a
Yeah.
homebody. I'm a hermit.
Me too. I'm the same way.
But to me, that's a huge green flag. The fact that she understands that
Yes,
it is not all about making time for that partner. It's not all about making time for stuff at home. It's you need your you time too.
for sure. Absolutely. It's so necessary to have your you time with whatever it is that you want to do. Regardless if it's a hobby or whatever the case is, it is so important to make sure that you have that to keep your individuality.
Absolutely. Because if we don't have that sense of individuality, what are we? We're just nothing but shells. But
Blobs.
if my biggest thing with red flags is we all experience red flags in our life.
Mhm.
Why is it that us as people, we choose to ignore those red flags?
Mm.
When we come across them and we could be absolutely smitten by somebody
Mhm.
and they show red flag after red flag after red flag, why is it that we just choose to ignore all inhibitions within ourselves and still pursue this big old walking red flag?
I have a few theories on that. So the first thing that I will say is that sometimes not all of the red flags present themselves in the beginning of a relationship. Some of them don't start developing or showing or presenting themselves somewhere mid or halfway into the relationship. And at that point, you've already invested so much time and effort in a relationship. And so it makes it quite challenging for the woman in this case, to start detaching her emotions because she has gone full throttle at this point. Women are loca, like they literally
You
have
said
a
it, not me.
well, we are. No, I'm so serious. Like we are crazy. Like we literally our emotions and our hormones, like if we just your touch, a man's touch or just our partner's touch or the touch from the person that we like. I mean, the amount of dopamine that and serotonin that our mind releases, it's insane. But we build such a strong attachment and we're very naturally very loyal creatures. The ones who are not, that's a different topic. I won't get into that right now. But typically, most women are very loyal creatures. Um, and so, they see that this man is showing them all these red flags and they choose to ignore it. Pues pa qué? For why? Because they've already gotten themselves way too emotionally attached and they're unable to control their emotions. They can't let go. And then there's a second group, my second one, where a woman chooses to ignore the red flags, all of them. It could be for manipulation purposes. It could be for trying to steal a man from another woman, which falls under manipulation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it could also be because the woman, she's a pick me. So she just wants to be chosen at the end of the day. She just wants the man. She doesn't care about anything. Um, she just ignores all of it. She just wants to be the one that's next to him.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You remember the big old red flag that tried to make herself everything that she thought I wanted?
Yep. Yeah.
When in turn, all she was doing was showing me everything I didn't.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, she did. She was, like I said, that's loca. And Anna brings up a good point too. She says here in the comments, she says, we ignore them because we're trying to convince ourselves that these red flags are things we can change or that they're not as serious as we need to be. We're in denial of it. That's true. And also, she's so right and like nail on the head. Women, we naturally are caregivers and we want to fix. We want to fix people. We're such people pleasers that we want to fix people. So when we see something wrong, it's like a poor puppy, like, oh, look at that sad puppy. Let me try to, reach over to them and help them. They just need love. They just need this. They just need that. And that's not even the case. The man is just broken. You can't fix what's already broken.
See, and The thing I gotta say to the ladies that think they can fix a broken man, we don't want you to have to fix us. We don't want to feel broken. If we want to be fixed, we will put in the effort to fix ourselves. We will put in the effort and show that we are trying to change. You can't change somebody's nature. They can only do it for themselves.
Yeah.
What you got to do is present, hey, this is what I'm putting on the table. You either want it or you don't. And let them choose for themselves whether or not they're going to make that change to have that. You can't pull all your cards out and put them all on the table at once.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Yeah, they have to be the ones to fix themselves, like Ricky said. We as women, we can't fix anything but ourselves. That's it. And a man sure as hell can't fix us either. We may think that, but what happens when we break up, we go back to being the same person that we once were before. So he technically didn't fix anything. He just put a Band-Aid on a problem that's still very much alive. Anna says, but think about it this way. Have you ever misjudged someone because your boundaries were too high? It's similar to the reason why we ignore the red flags.
Define boundaries being too high.
Yeah, what is that? I don't necessarily think that that exists, having boundaries that are too high. I think it's more so people just being incredibly judgmental.
I can understand standards being too high, but boundaries, we set our boundaries for a reason, to avoid situations that we've either gotten out of or we're trying to get out of.
Yeah.
As far as setting boundaries too high, I don't think there is such a thing.
Yeah, me too. I don't either. I think you're just either you criticize everybody, you're very judgmental. I think, they have to, like, for instance, let's say a rich white woman. There's like an inner hatred from that person to either downgrade or, put down others because their whole life they never felt good enough. It's to me, it stems from some sort of insecurity, even though they have all the money in the world, even though they're beautiful, but because they're blonde and blue eyes, they probably hate minorities just because they have more of an exotic look.
Yep.
And they don't even understand that. They don't get that. They're just like, oh, well, they don't have as much money as me. Look at her. Oh, that's what she does. Of course she does. She makes tortillas, doesn't she? Like, they're so judgmental like that because they have an inner hatred for themselves.
Like expectations and prejudices. Sometimes we judge someone before we see everything, and sometimes we have to redirect. To me, that wouldn't really fall under the category of boundaries. To me, that would fall more under standards, more under stereotyping, more under jumping to conclusions versus getting to know somebody.
Yeah. Like, boundaries for me are more so like, oh, let's say you're an open communicator like me, like you'll talk to somebody, but then all of a sudden the person starts talking sexually to you and you're like, whoa, like, hold on, that's not a conversation we're not going to have. Like,
yeah, that's a huge red flag to me too.
Yeah, exactly.
And or they just you know me, I'm a part of the BDSM community. Boundaries, that's a huge thing for us.
Yeah.
To make that advance, we need to establish consent. We need to establish boundaries before anything.
Agreed. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Like, and you do that with communicating, what makes you feel comfortable, certain topics of conversation. Do I like you touching me? Do I not? What is it? There's certain boundaries in place. Do I like you talking to me that way? Do I not? And, if I don't like the way that a person is treating me or talking to me, I'll just stop talking with them, or just remove myself entirely from the situation and say, you know what, I had a good night, thank you for everything. Here's my half of the bill. See you later, and not hit them up again and block them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. Because if somebody's willing to push your boundaries, they're not worth the time. They're not worth the effort. They're not worth that momentary thought of them popping into your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And prejudices, touching back on Anna's comment, for me, that coincides with having an inner hatred, because how can you be prejudiced towards someone just how they look or how they're dressed or
how we speak?
Yeah, exactly. How can you be prejudiced towards that without having some sort of inner hatred? Now, I know in the beginning I mentioned, men wearing too flashy, but that's a red flag for me, because it shows that they're spending their money recklessly, and that it also shows that their personality type is very flamboyant or loud. And
Whoa!
that's just
I'm
not what.
feeling personally called out and attacked here.
Oh no, like having the bling bling, like the you know what I mean, like the big necklace and all that, and
Right.
the
At that
huge
point,
diamond.
yes, you're quite frankly compensating for something, but I digress.
Yeah, no, like the big diamond rings,
Oh,
like
I
I
worked one of those.
yeah.
His big flex was his car, and it was an outdated model of a Camaro.
Oh,
He flat
not
out said,
outdated.
"I can get any woman I want just based on the car I drive." Like, dude, your car is outdated as hell for starters. Second of all, have you heard that thing when it starts up?
Mm.
Do you need to take your ego down a couple notches? Because no, you can't.
I mean, and in his mind, he probably could, because that's probably what he's experienced. But you got to think about the type of woman that he's attracting also. So he's saying, I can pull any woman that I want. Okay, then that woman is going to be just as superficial as you, guy. Because a real woman who's going to love you for you doesn't give a shit about what kind of car you drive, like point blank, period.
Yeah, that's very true.
So he's miserable.
And another thing about red flags on that topic is if we choose to ignore those red flags, even though it's very clear that they're there, we acknowledge that those red flags are red flags, but we still choose to ignore them. What does that say about us? About
Mm-hmm.
our own self vision, about our own perspective of, prioritizing ourselves.
True.
And
That's a
says we
good
don't
point.
have very much respect for ourselves if we're just willing to overlook.
Absolutely, I agree. It's definitely given that this person has little to no respect for themselves, and that all they want is attention or acceptance from somebody that they feel that they were unable to attain, and now that they have them, they're willing to bypass a lot of that. So a lot of it is denial. Or maybe it is someone that they've obtained, maybe it's their husband. Let's say that it was in a marriage situation and she was married to him. Well, again, that goes back to the emotional longevity and attachment that the woman has had with this man. You know, how much investment, how if she's had kids, oh man, that's a tough one too. If she's had kids with him, she'll try to look past it, but it's gonna eat her up inside. But
Tell that to my
women,
baby mama.
oh, well, normal, kind of semi-normal women react this way, not not your baby mama. She's yeah, she's a whole topic in and of itself. That woman.
Ain't that the truth?
So poor
Well,
thing.
yeah. Any other red flags down in the comments?
Yeah, what are some red flags for you guys?
Oh. I'm a very focused person. When I'm focusing on one thing in particular, that's it. That's what has my attention. That's what has my focus.
Hana.
I'm a very mellow person.
Yes, yeah.
Can't say that after a few shots of tequila, but
I'm trying to think of some other red flags. Let's see here.
I think another big one for me is ghosting people. Like, just for no reason, just absolutely ghosting them. You guys had a great conversation. Say you guys went out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Great conversation, great meal, great night, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
Talked, set up this date, and then after the date, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that just kind of sends out the signal. Did it even mean anything to you? Like, were you just trying to waste my time, or are you that afraid of commitment that you flat out stop talking to me out of nowhere?
Yeah. It does raise a lot of questions, and I do get a lot of women that ask that particular question on, why would he ghost me? And, one thing that I always say is, listen, if a person who wants to be in your life wants to be in your life, then they will be in your life. But if a person chooses to no longer be in your life and chooses to walk out of your life, then better for you. Then they did not deserve to be in your life to begin with. They did you a favor. Because, and 9 times out of 10, it's more than likely because the woman, from a woman's perspective, beautiful girl, she went on a date and she was, the slim, had a booty, has, cute breasts. Look, let's just be real here. Okay. Like men look at these types of things. They do. Hell, even lesbians do. So anyways, I digress. But she was a good looking gal and beautiful hair, beautiful long hair that she had. I love long hair on women. And, she went on a date, semi okay guy, whatever. And they had a great time. And all of a sudden he ghosts her. Now she went on TikTok and she made a video and it went viral because everybody was telling her how beautiful she was. But see, some people gave some actual great feedback. And what that feedback said was that you're dressed too nice, you're too beautiful, and this guy got intimidated. And again, sometimes it doesn't even need to be because you said something or that you did something. It's literally just because the woman is too beautiful, she's too independent, she's too stable, she's too this, she's too that. And in his eyes, he may not be on that same level. A man who is in tune with himself, a man who knows himself, a man who is familiar and comfortable with himself, would see this woman who he finds attractive, talk to her and say, you know what, this is someone that I could vibe with. This is someone that I could be with. And he will move forward with that person if he is interested with that woman. But usually, if they're not, it's a reflection of some sort of insecurity that man has.
I will say for some men, not all men, some men, playing a woman like that is often caused by them having been played in the past. And rather than being the played, they became the player.
So they get joy out of hurting women because they're still hurting.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. 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 That could also be another perspective of it too. I agree. Anna says, for me, it's been the jealousy that leads to these childish behaviors. We're adults. Act like one. I don't understand why people throw tantrums. Emotional maturity is such a huge thing for me. I agree.
It is, but you're asking a lot from society to stop being childish. That is all order.
Yeah.
I mean, in that perspective, let's take my coworker, Renee, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Threw a whole fit over our radios because my buddy Victor, he is not that great at speaking English. Like he has a very, very broken English. Big Mexican accent to it. So to make things a little easier, the office gal got on the radio and started speaking in Spanish. A lot of our office girls, they're Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Made it easy for him. Here comes Renee on the radio. Speak English so I can understand you. I got on the radio and started blurting out Spanish. I'm like, no, you want to be childish. First of all, this conversation on the radio does not in any way pertain to you. If you don't understand it, that's great. He's doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, that could lead you to all different types of issues at work because that's discrimination. You can't tell somebody who's native in Spanish not to speak their native tongue.
Yeah, that is a discrimination case right there for sure. You know, English is not the what is it, like the dominant language in America. Like there is no national language. Yeah, so we are free to speak whatever language. I mean, granted, I only know English, sadly, but if I could speak Spanish, you bet your ass I'd be speaking the Espanolese, right? Meowies, you know?
No, so ever since that day, anytime I get put on the back dock to unload with Victor, she's always receiving the pallets back there.
Mm.
I make sure to speak nothing but Spanish with Victor.
I bet he's cringing. But, you know, it could be just a level of him being very, like, he's being a metiche, you know? Like, what do you need to know for, dude? It's not your business.
Mm-hmm.
Nosy ass.
Victor's a lot like me when it comes to his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having that big of an issue with us speaking Spanish, it's because you're just being nosy.
Yeah.
Not everything has to pertain to you.
Oh, I know somebody where the whole world revolves around them. It's insane. It's like, God, worst types of personality disorder to have.
That's a huge red flag too. Somebody who makes everything about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a psycho mental disorder for sure.
Like, what happened in your life to give you that kind of ego where everything has to be about you?
Apparently, abandonment and feeling neglected by a parent is what caused that for the person. At least that's from my understanding from this
I'd be
person's
afraid to
lifespan.
hear her story.
Oh, I wouldn't even want you to talk to this person because I don't even talk to this person. I want her far away from me as possible. I cannot stand her. I literally cannot stand her. I hate her. Like, there's nobody that I hate online, but I hate this woman. I literally hate this woman.
Ooh, hate is a strong word.
And that's how I feel. I said what I said.
I said what I said and I meant what I said.
Yeah, I stand by it.
I mean, more power to you. I'm just stating the fact.
Yeah. Yeah, so Huh?
So, in your encounters with these red flags, how do you normally deal with them?
Well, it's challenging for sure because, you know, there's no real, I can't pick up a book and, you know, oh, if this person says this, you know, there's no guidebook for certain things, right? So my best way of dealing with toxic situations, unfortunately, they're never going to go away. You're always going to be introduced into them, whether it be in relationships or whether it be in workforce places, right? Like in the workplace. And so you just got to learn how to control your emotions for one, and not react in the ways that these narcissistic or toxic people want you to. Um, is it necessary for you to act on it? No, it's not. What do? You stay one step ahead of them. Do you need to file a restraining order? Do you have enough evidence for a restraining order? Stay silent. Go ghost. Don't respond back. Move forward legally if need be. You don't need to deal with it and you don't need to tolerate it. Second thing is if it is in a workplace business, and you have a toxic coworker or something like this, you have to bring it up to management or upper management, HR.
Here's the kicker. Ready for this?
Yeah.
We all have.
Yep. Oh.
They didn't do anything about it.
Then you
She's been
push
there
the.
for 20 plus years. Nobody wants to get involved when it comes to her.
Do you have access to her schedules? Can somebody start making her work less, different hours?
No. She
Push
is
her
on
out.
first shift.
Mentally push her out, drain her, add more
Oh,
to
I
the
do.
work. Yeah, everybody has to do it collectively because if it's just one person, then she'll just, but if it's coming at different angles from multiple people, she'll get worn out.
Oh, here's the thing, though. We just got a new general manager.
Mm-hmm.
Have his number.
Oh, perfect. Especially with the new GM, they may, since they're not exposed to it.
Something you don't know.
I love it. Yeah, with the new GM, hopefully that'll help. But if upper management says no and the new GM comes in, the upper management may tell him no as well. So you just stick with your plan of everybody kind of pressuring her, trying to push her out.
Oh, yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to stick with my petty route of anytime I'm put anywhere near her to work, I'm just going to speak Spanish.
Yeah. Yep.
Porque sabes que? It drives her insane.
Oh, good.
And I love it.
She deserves it. Good. There were a couple girls that were driven by their managers and some of the workplaces that I used to work at, and the manager at the time was the total. Oh, I could say it on YouTube. She was a total cunt. And so one day I fucking just said, you know what? Because I was scheduled to go in, and I said, hey, I can't go in because I had an emergency. And she goes, well, you need to find someone to cover your shift or come in. And I said, dude, I haven't called out at all this whole year. It's my one time calling out, and it's for an emergency. Like, I need this day off. You're the manager. Can't you find somebody to cover my shift or take it on? Because that's your job. And she's like, no, that's your responsibility. I'm like, so I'm doing your job for you to find someone to replace me? The fuck? And I said, okay, bitch, find my full replacement because I quit. And I fucking quit. And then the managers were pissed off and they were like, what happened? Where did Pre go? Why isn't she showing up to her shifts anymore? And she had to sit there and explain to them why I quit and show them the text messages.
Good on you.
Yeah. I said, fuck you. I'm done with this shit. 3 other girls had quit shortly after me, too.
Good.
Needless to say, she lost her job shortly after.
I would hope so. Causing a bunch of employees to leave. I would hope that she lost her job.
Yeah, they even called me too, and they were like, do you want to come back? And I said, no, I'm good. I'm going to ride out this time that I have with my family before I ship out.
That's going to be a hard pass for me.
Hard pass. That's a hard no. Sir, you can pay me my severance, though.
Facts. Times are tough. You need that money.
Yeah.
No, as far as dealing with red flags, to me, I've kind of learned to just identify these red flags. As soon as I see it, I just flat out tell them, okay, this is what I don't like about you, and I need you to go that way. I'm go this way.
Yep.
Easiest thing you could do, just be blunt about it. No point beating around the bush.
With people like that, it's best not to beat around the bush and to have direct communication when, addressing your own boundaries or expectations of how you want to be treated. Because if you beat around the bush, the person is going to interpret it in a completely different way versus you being direct. And you being direct, the person's feelings are going to get hurt, yes, but it's better to be direct and communicate like, hey, I didn't like that this happened. I didn't like when you touched me. I didn't like when you when you called me a bitch. I do not like that. You do not talk to me like that. See, that's very clear. I did not
If I talk
say
to a female like that, I did it for a reason. If I
right.
call you a bitch, odds are you were beat. I have nothing but the utmost respect for females until they give me a reason not to respect them.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like if a man says the B word.
Don't give me that face. I've never called you that.
Oh, Lexi. So I saw this thing on TikTok like a while ago, and it was basically saying that if a man calls a woman a bitch, that you need to be careful and leave that man, because if he calls you a bitch, he's more than likely able to kill you because he has that much hatred towards you to say, call you a bitch and mean it.
I can debunk that one.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've called quite a few exes of mine a bitch, but yet they're still breathing.
Would you ever want to?
No.
Unalive them?
No.
Or wish death on them?
Nope. Why? Because I want you to sit there and watch me elevate myself in life.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to see how far I can go. But with my ex-wife, when we started our arguing and all that, she would drop the "I hate you." She dropped it once on me. After that one time, I told her, next time you say that, you better damn well mean it. And that'll let me know to just walk away. That'll let me know to just let everything, let the last few years of our lives just leave my mind. Because at that point, I don't need that kind of energy. And sure enough, she did right before our divorce papers got signed.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I'm sorry that you had to experience that, and that's something that you had to go through, because honestly, situations like that are never easy. But not just that, it's a very heartbreaking situation, because this was somebody that you really invested your time, energy, and men. The thing that I've learned about men too is that they stay in relationships or they stay around the woman because they love them. What are they really getting out of being in a relationship with a woman? Nothing. Besides love.
Yep, it's statistically proven that most men in 2024 don't want a relationship.
Yes.
Because they see nothing coming out of it. We can't expect anything out of women when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Because 99% of what's expected in a relationship falls on us. If a relationship fails, that falls on us.
Yeah.
If there's a lack of communication, it falls on us. If there's stuff that's being delegated within the household, that's all us too. If a marriage involving kids fails, that's on us. We more than likely lose the house and lose our kids.
Yeah. That's true. It's very true. Which is why I say, it sucks because it's like your ex-wife, she to her, whatever her mind was and wherever she was at. But the only reason why you even tolerated anything that you tolerated in that relationship was because you loved her and because you were there for love. You were not there for any other reason besides just that.
Yeah, pretty much. But if I didn't go through that, wouldn't be where I am. Wouldn't have the mentality I do. I'd still be in a way different mentality.
Oh, for sure. And I'm glad that, you survived through all of those things and that you got through all of those things and you're here with me today, and that we're friends and that I got to meet you because otherwise I wouldn't even know who you were.
Yeah, just crazy old me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Always looking for some cheese, man.
Well, I got plenty. No, but yeah, that's I don't know. Women these days are even for myself as a woman, I see other women and I'm like, God, if I was a man, I wouldn't want to date you. Yeah. Like, Lord.
Straight toxicas or gold diggers, which still toxic.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Use my coworker here as an example of all of it. He was supposed to be our guest last week, but I'm pretty sure he fell asleep.
Oh.
His whole situation. Working a full-time job, paying bills out here, paying for the phone bill, paying for his car payment, his insurance, his rent. And then he has his wife down in Florida paying her rent, paying her phone, her insurance, her putting in little to no effort to find a better job.
Wow. That's a shitty situation, man.
Yep, and that's why I constantly tell him, you need to walk away from it.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
But there's only so much I can do to try to steer him to, the obvious decision, but it's up to him whether he wants to listen or not.
That's true. I'll pray that he does.
And change people.
Yep, that part. That part. Anna says, Pre, would you date you? Would I date myself? Yeah, I would. I say it with a high-pitched tone, because I'm actually afraid of myself. So I think if I were to date myself, I'd be a little in fear. What's going to come out of my mouth, I'm not going to know. But I mean, yeah, I'm very loving. I'm a very loving creature.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. And all I really need is some good pizza and a glass of wine and put on
Hawaiian pizza.
Hawaiian pizza specifically, yes. And some pizza, some wine, a little salad, some breadsticks. Put on a nice movie, light a candle.
We got a Hawaiian hater over here.
What? She doesn't like
that
pineapple?
Fruit is delicious on pizza.
Fruit does not belong on pizza.
Hater.
Yeah, she's definitely a hater for sure. It does belong. That's why it exists. That's why they say have a whole pizza dedicated to it. Hawaiian. It's dedicated. It's dedicated to it.
I think that's what our only argument's been.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, tell Lexi we're about to go into a duel over pineapple on pizza.
Bree says you two are gonna duel over this. Huge red flag right there. Does not like Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, like even Anna said she had the best Hawaiian the other day. It does belong on pizza.
I agree. Absolutely belongs on pizza.
So yummy.
But I'm gonna intervene on that question. I definitely would not date myself.
Why?
I'm a dude.
Okay. All right, let's take it back. What if you were a lady?
Same personality traits and everything?
Yeah.
Still no.
That would kind of turn out a little deadly, no? Because then you have another person like you.
No, I would have to say no because like I said, I am in the BDSM community. I would clash within myself. I would be nothing of what I'm looking for.
That's fair. That's a good point.
What?
Similar personalities.
No, but if I was a carbon copy of myself as a female, sadist, masochist,
Oh, okay.
can't have two sadists.
Yeah,
That falls under sadomasochism.
yeah, that scares me. That would scare me. Like, Ricky, how are you today? Are you okay? Are you still breathing?
A little bruised up, little cut up, but I'm all right.
Are you
give me my
missing any
coffee.
limbs today?
Just give me my coffee and I'll be all right.
Send me a photo of your hands and your toes, please. I want to make
They're
sure
not
they're all
there.
Okay, Anna says, okay, let me put it this way.
We're all eagerly awaiting.
If your girl best friend were to date the man you are right now, Ricky, would you feel comfortable with it? Like she would be in good hands?
Yes. Because, like I've said before, and I'm pretty sure I said it in one of our previous lives, I am part of what is left of chivalry. I open doors. I pull out chairs. I pretty much put their needs before my own. Yep. She said it herself. I get upset if they open up their own doors. If we're at a store, I will sit there at the door and wait for a woman to walk in, even if they're halfway across the parking lot.
Oh, Ricky.
I am trying to teach Hunter that. My buddy John has started picking up on that. I'm trying to keep chivalry alive.
One of the few.
Yeah, that's sad too.
I respect that entirely.
It's very sad that it's dying as quick as it is. But I understand why it's dying the way it is.
I blame the feminists. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna have a whole lot of hate comments.
I'm just kidding. I support the cause. I do.
This live supports feminism.
Period. Yes, it does. I wouldn't be here today on this podcast if feminism didn't exist. So, Anna says, I think it's also dying because people are trying to get out of the mindset of machismo.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of women do look at it like we're misogynists when we do that. Sad. Really is sad because, quite frankly, that puts a healthy standard on what a woman should look for is a man who will treat her like a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can understand certain levels of it. Like, yes, we are not in the 1920s anymore where we work, woman stays at home, cooks, cleans, this, that, the other. No, we don't need to keep that portion of it alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the respect factor of a woman being taken care of by a man.
Mm-hmm. I just get so enraged because it's, how we've established these stereotypes of how a woman should be, how a man should be. And, since things are changing, it's getting a little wild because it's like, oh, you could do anything. You could choose whatever you want. Let's just have equal respect for one another and treat each other with respect. Let's just do that, and
But
don't play
again,
my games.
tall order from society.
Unfortunately, because,
And this is why we need more viewers in here, because that's exactly what the chain we're trying to break. We're trying to break these society standards for people. We're trying to get them to understand different perspectives on different things going on in life.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to relationships, because if you don't have a healthy relationship and you end up with kids, they're just going to continue that cycle.
Yeah. No, that's so true, sadly. Generational curses are such a real thing that it's very hard to break away from.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you do try to break away from it, like, that energy still lingers around. So how do you remove it completely, So, what?
A comment.
Oh, I'm waving my Ricky/P flag, okay? Anna.
Speaking of getting more viewers, how's your YouTube page coming along so we can focus on YouTube?
So I created the channel, but I don't know what to do outside of that. What do I
I'll
do?
have to research it again to try to help you out. Maybe a video chat or something so we can establish what's going on.
Yeah, we could definitely set up like a practice, like where we can just like practice on.
Oh yeah, because when it comes to YouTube lives and everything, you can set them to private. That's how I ended up testing the equipment once I got everything hooked up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I may need to start advertising my YouTube if TikTok gets banned, so I can
need to do the same.
Yeah.
It's so much work.
I know. Well, you just make a TikTok video and put the word out there to your followers.
Yeah, I could do that. I would have to do it on my main page because that one has my follow bases on it.
Yeah. Because
and then my Ultra of the count. I'm not even seeing 5K on that one, and my King of Darkness one, that one I'm seeing over 43,000. So I think I got a better chance of getting more viewers in here off that one.
Yeah, for sure. We also need to make more appearances on TikTok also. That's where a lot of our following is from.
That's true. I debated on starting up a live on TikTok while we were doing this, but haven't quite figured out how to get the audio from this mic onto my phone and the computer at the same time.
Is there a way to go live on TikTok from your computer?
I tried. Didn't work.
You got to set up, like, you got to request special access, I think, like gamer mode.
I think so.
Yeah.
And yeah, at that point, I think we would have that go. I would need a couple monitors.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, but we definitely, look, the good thing is that with YouTube, after this, the live will still be posted. So, even if they're not able to make it now, they can rewatch or listen to it.
Exactly. That's why I have everything in a playlist. That way, if we can get more people to, my page, they're all there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need to advertise more for sure. I got it.
I'll get to
it. Yeah, I wanted to post on my TikTok today about it, and then I got sidetracked. So
it happens.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked watching Suits, so I get it.
Oh my God, I love that show.
All right, but we will call it a night right here.
Sounds good, darling.
New viewers, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, check out the playlist. Just mentioned it. Has all the previous lives on different relationship topics. We will catch you next week. Not sure what the topic will be yet, but it will be scheduled ahead of time. So just keep an eye out.
Awesome. Thank you for having me again, Ricky. Love you. Love you guys. Make sure you subscribe
love.
to him. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.